The NCAA tournament continues to move along. We're now down to the Sweet 16. At this stage, it's usually still chalk, but oh my God, we've had two number one seeds go down. Obviously, that was Stanford and Indiana. What I want to do is preview the Sweet 16 round because this is where the real good matchups come, and I think this is where the real fun's going to begin. So first off, let's go to Greenville 1 region. And probably like you, I don't see anything stopping South Carolina marching to the Final Four. What really interests me in this region is actually watching Diamond Miller go against South Carolina. When she matches up against them, I think that's truly the only test they're going to see on their way to the Final Four. Now, sorry, Notre Dame, that's a bit of shade towards you, but I just don't see you overcoming all the injuries you've had. I think you've done extremely well, but losing Mabry and Miles is just an impossible task to overcome, in my opinion. Moving down in my bracket to Seattle 4, I can't wait to see Louisville versus Ole Miss. Not sure how this will go, but it should be a rock fight, in my opinion. These are just two tough teams, and it's going to be a good matchup. I'd like to actually see Louisville get through. Is thinking watching Haley Van Lith versus Caitlin Clark battling for a Final Four spot would be pretty epic. That is, if Clark is able to get through Colorado, and that is not a certainty. However, if forced to make a pick, I'm actually going to go Louisville. I think they're going to make it back to the Final Four. It's a bit hard to pick against Van Lith, in my opinion. Just go ask Texas, who gave them a beat down in their own house. The other side of the tournament is real spicy, in my opinion. I don't see anyone stopping LSU in the Greenville 2 bracket. I think Angel Reese will dominate Elisa Peely with her size, unless Peely can do a bit of a Charles Barkley impression with her muscle and sort of push Reese around a bit. I don't really see it happening as well. Maybe get her in some early foul trouble. That's the only way. If it turns into a super shootout and LSU can't stop them, then maybe, but I just don't see that happening. I see LSU facing off against Villanova, who will beat Miami. I don't think Miami's going to be able to stop Siegrist again, though, but once Siegrist goes up against Reese, I see Siegrist having all sorts of problems. Siegrist struggled against Aaliyah Edwards at UConn, and I suspect she'll have the same sort of struggles against Reese. So my crystal ball has LSU riding into the Final Four with Mulkey and Reese carrying massive chips on their shoulders about how nobody gave them any respect, as they were a number 3 seed despite only losing 2 games all season. The Seattle 3 region, UConn has a tough matchup against Ohio State. I am really looking forward to Nakia Mule going versus J.C. Sheldon. That's going to just be a great point guard matchup. As well, UConn better be careful as Taylor Mikesell. She is deadly from three-point range. I think she's shooting over 40%. But overall, I think UConn will be too big for Ohio State and beat them up on the boards and inside, which is a bit ironic as a large part of them being so dominant on the inside is due to them getting the transfer, obviously, Dorka Juhas from Ohio State. Pairing her with Aaliyah Edwards has allowed UConn just to dominate teams on the inside. And they just seem to be getting stronger, which is likely the impact of AZ Fudd being back and stretching the defense with her and Lopez Seneschal just punishing teams as well from the outside. So I see UConn winning. No surprise here. But there is a road for Ohio State to win. I think if they get a lot of turnovers from the press and Mule turns over the ball a bit, then that's their avenue. And as well, obviously, if they shoot well, which you could say for every team. But anyway, I do think UConn will win. I am probably disrespecting Virginia Tech, but I think they'll lose to Tennessee. I just don't see Virginia Tech being able to handle Rakia Jackson and Jordan Horston. And in truth, maybe I just want to see UConn and Tennessee play in the tournament, as it just seems right. Either way, I think if UConn makes it through Ohio State, then I think they're on their way to the Final Four, as I think they'll match up well versus Tennessee. So my Final Four is South Carolina versus Louisville. Yes, I think Louisville's going to make it back to the Final Four. As well, I see LSU versus UConn. Anyway, that's how I see the dominoes falling. Noting the internet is forever, I'll probably look like a clown, but that's fine by me. It's all just predictions, so we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts? Who do you see getting to the Final Four? Am I disrespecting Utah and Virginia Tech? Leave me your poison or your praise, whatever. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.